Hi everyone, so welcome back to Rebirth TV. I am Stacy Benton. I am your presenter or your host. I just want to welcome you, and we are launching our Rebirth A Gift Series, which is a series connected to the novel Rebirth A Gift. And if this is your first time listening in, I definitely thank you for spending your time and your energy. I am excited and elated to have you here. I am so thankful that you're taking the initiative or continuing to take the initiative when it comes to your healing journey from complex trauma. And definitely, I encourage you to go back and watch the other videos because they will be very reflective and insightful for you, and just give you more education and information, motivation, and inspiration so that you can transform your complex trauma and continue your journey in healing. Just really I'm just feeling good today. I just, sometimes you have those days where you just want to just not wake up. Not really, but you just feel not good. But today I really feel good. I hope you feel the same. I hope you're taking the time to take care of yourself. You're taking time out for yourself. Even if it's something simple. Excuse me, that you enjoy. Even if it's something simple as making a cake or cooking your favorite meal, just getting yourself out of that, just shifting your energy, yourself into a different, in a different way, in a different uh, uh, projection or a different avenue, just shifting yourself, because sometimes it's just normal. If you're going through complex trauma, you have those days where you're in a funk and you're not feeling good. But I want to encourage you, when you feel that way, sometimes to shift out of that is to just do something you enjoy doing that you may not have had the energy to do before. Okay, so that's just a little nugget there. Just a little inspiration or motivation there. So what we were doing on the other videos, we were going over the childhood abuse and different emotional, we were dealing with childhood abuse because it is Child Abuse Awareness Month, but also just going into a little more detail about what that may have been like emotionally, some of the emotional issues surrounding the childhood abuse. So we have addressed that on the other video. So I want to encourage you to go back and watch those because they will definitely help you continue your healing journey, so that you can transform that trauma, that complex trauma, into becoming the person you've always envisioned yourself to be, so that you can transcend, you can ascend to the heights of what you've always imagined for your life. And this is what Rebirth TV is all about. This is our pilot. So this is our Rebirth channel, a Rebirth TV channel on YouTube. But this is the foundational premise of something much bigger than me, myself, and also you. But you are part of the journey. You are part of the initiative to actually transform your trauma, so that now you can go forth and help others in your purpose or destiny. And so you can continue to be the great person you were created to be. So I just want to inspire you there. That's a little inspirational nugget. But we're going to just go ahead and shift to our article, which is our educational piece, where we are discussing the previous video was on personality disorder. And now we were looking at borderline personality disorder, and now we were just looking at educating ourselves on bipolar disorder and how that actually affects or impacts you as an individual that may have experienced complex trauma. All right. So no matter where you are in your healing journey, it's definitely a really great, well, it's definitely a helpful tactic or a tool that you can now utilize to connect your trauma to, if you have a mental diagnosis, to see that there could be some connectivity there that you may not have looked at or examined before. So let me just shift a little here. I'm going to shift the screen to the article. And we were discussing bipolar disorder symptoms. And I went over mania in detail and gave some examples on the previous video for bipolar disorder. Now we're going to shift to depression. So one of the things here is that depression is one of those topics. It's a mental issue that can drain your life. It seems like your life is just escaping you on a daily basis because you're constantly in this low kind of energy. You have a lot of fatigue, and it says extreme fatigue. That means it doesn't matter how much coffee you drink, how much food you eat or don't eat, you always feel this kind of deep level of tiredness or exhaustion that you know is not normal. And so if you have bipolar symptoms, you really can shift between these two in a matter of moments or days. Now, again, I'm not a mental health professional, but if you are diagnosed with this, my encouragement to you is that if you have a actual mental health diagnosis from a trained professional, is that you continue to follow their guidance, because you know what your body needs. You know what you're experiencing. Do not ignore your symptoms. One thing I want you to start doing is journaling your depressive symptoms. Every day, I need you to go out, get a journal, date it, and just start journaling what you are feeling, because this helps bring in more awareness, self-awareness. I spoke about this in the other video, the previous video. We were talking about mania and journaling your different moods, because there could be a trigger there that you may not be quite aware of. That trigger could come from thoughts of suppressed emotions from your trauma, from your childhood trauma. So definitely, I want you to pause, take a note. If it's on your phone, if you have something to write on, today I need to get a journal. And it does not matter if you have bipolar disorder or some other mental health issue or diagnosis. Journaling is a way to express yourself, to get those thoughts out of your mind down into paper, which alleviates some of the stressors mentally. So that's why you need to journal your depressive states, prolonged sadness. If you find yourself just sad all the time, crying, uncontrollably crying, think about, is there something that happens in your childhood that is triggering that? And sometimes it takes you taking a step back and really writing down how you're feeling for that day. Because what you can do is that you can now share that with your therapist, to be like, well, I see that these are some challenges. This is how I was feeling on this day. But I noticed that I was thinking about what happened in my childhood that triggered this. And that can help with your treatment and your therapy sessions. So you need to be completely in partnership with your mental health professional. And another thing that I suggest is that I do suggest that if you have a actual diagnosis, definitely therapy is very helpful and healthy. And if you don't have one, but also you can also include into that a life coach or a trauma coach, a spiritual advisor or a spiritual person that you trust, that you can go to express openly without any shame or guilt how you are feeling. Because you don't want to, shame and guilt is going to hinder. It's a hindrance to your healing process. So we're all about healing, going on the journey to healing and recovery. So memory loss, if you find yourself not being able to remember things, especially short-term memory loss, like if you're walking around the room and you're thinking like, oh my gosh, like why did I come in here? And you have to really, and it's becoming very apparent that there is some memory loss. I mean, that you're forgetful, or you're forgetting simple things like where you put things, things that you may have forgotten to say, or you're in the middle of a sentence and you forget what you're saying. Those can be some symptoms, okay, that if you don't already have a formal diagnosis, that you may want to take more close attention to. This is not to trigger you, but to educate you that taking care of your mental health is very vital to your recovery. It's very vital to your healing journey. And the more that you neglect it or ignore it out of fear, shame, and guilt, the longer it's going to prolong your healing process. It delays it. So that's why I'm stressing that if you're seeing any of these symptoms or signs around bipolar disorder, or just feeling this, even without having an actual formal diagnosis, memory loss, poor nutrition. Now, this is one that can be hidden, because if you're a diet conscious person, you're a very health focused person, you may not feel yourself as having poor nutrition. But if you find yourself like really under eating, that still can contribute to other mental issues. Or you're overeating, you're eating way too much, you're an emotionally triggered eater. That's still poor nutrition. So you need to journal both of these things. Journal mania symptoms, journal depressive symptoms, even if you have a diagnosis formally or not. If you're feeling these things, mania or depression, you want to definitely take in consideration journaling and how you are feeling, because through your journaling, it's going to give you more insights into your emotional state. So now you can have tools, you can have information to take back to your trusted individual that's helping you through your healing journey, and express those and communicate that with them. Now, another part of this approach of healing is also medical. So if you're having poor nutrition and you notice this is a problem, because without a balanced diet, it's only going to make these symptoms worse. Think about when you undereat, you don't have enough calories for the day for your body, and it's going to increase the memory loss. It's going to increase fatigue. It's going to increase sadness and overall depression. So look at your healing process as a holistic approach. You want to be holistically addressing this. So poor nutrition also flows into, or it can impact, your overall mental health and physical health. So the holistic approach is looking at yourself when it comes to healing, psychologically, spiritually, and physically. So you want to address all three when you're going through your healing journey, because ignoring one of those can only make the situation worse, or prolong or stagnate your healing journey. It also can stagnate your ability to gain more stability when it comes to if you have a mental diagnosis or your mental health. So what I'm going to do, I will end this video here, but I just want to encourage you that no matter what state you are in your healing journey, there is light that is at the end of the tunnel. Do not give up. Stay fighting for yourself and fighting for your life and your family. I'll see you back on the next video.